Hi guys, so today we're going to look at the equation of a line and how to find the equation of a line using a point and a slope. So to find the equation of a line, we can use the following formula from our log table. Now this formula tells us that we need two things. First of all, we need a point on the line. So any coordinate point, so that's x1, y1. And we also need, the second thing we need is the slope of the line. So once we have those two, we can substitute them in and we can find the equation of the line. So you'll remember from our slope video that the equation of a line can be written in two ways. So I had told you that this line here is the exact same thing as this line here. So the equation of a line can be written in two ways. It can be written as ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, which is basically this one here, except for the fact that the 12 is on this side. So if we were to write that, that would be 3x minus 4y minus 12 equals 0. So I would just bring the 12 over the other side. Or it can be written as, so that's the first way. Or it can be written as the way of y equals to mx plus c, which we can see was the way it was written here. Okay, so you can be asked to write the equation of a line in either way. So you need to get used to manipulation of formula, but also manipulation of algebra. So know about when you're multiplying across or when you're moving something over the equal sign, about changing your signs. But if it doesn't ask you what way to write the equation, then you can write in either 1 or 2. It does not matter. Okay, so let's work through an example. So here we have a question that says, find the equation of a line with point 3, 4 and slope 3. So the first thing we need to do here, just label our point x1, y1, and then we're told here that m is equal to 3. So if we look at our formula, y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. All we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to take this slope and we're going to substitute them into the formula. So we have y minus y1, which is 4, equals m, which is 3, x minus x1, which is 3. And then all we're going to do is simplify. So we have y minus 4, can't do anything with that. Now here we can get rid of the brackets. So 3 by x will give me 3x. 3 by minus 3 will give me minus 9. And finally we can simplify that further. So I'm going to bring this minus 4 across, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it in the style of y equals mx plus c. So what I get then is y equals 3x minus 9 plus 4, y equals 3x minus 5. And that's my final answer. That's the equation of my line. Okay guys, now it's your turn. Pause the video here, have a go at this question, and then when you're done, press play and I'll go through the workings. Okay, so let's start off by labeling my points. x1, y1, my slope is 2, and now we're going to substitute that in to this equation here, or formula here. Okay, so y minus 3 equals 2x minus 1. I'm going to simplify, so y minus 3 equals 2x minus 2. And then let's put it in the form y equals to mx plus c. So if I put it in that form, I'm just going to bring my minus 3 across, and I get y equals to 2x minus 2 plus 3. Y equals to 2x plus 1. And that's my final answer. Okay, let's try something a little bit more tricky. So here we have the equation of a line with point minus 2, 4, and the slope is equal to a half. So we have a fraction now, which is going to make it a little bit trickier. But again, it's just all down to your multiplication or your manipulation of algebra. So I've just labelled my points there, x1, y1. And all I'm going to do is substitute them in to this here. Okay, so I have y minus 4 equals m, which we know is a half, x, and I have minus 2. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite that all out. So y minus 4 equals a half. X minus 2 is going to give me x plus 2. Okay, and finally then I can get rid of this. Okay, so I can multiply in that half. So I get y minus 4 equals a half x plus a half multiplied by 2 will just give me 1. Okay, and let us write this in the form, so simplify to the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so let's simplify it to that form. So that would involve me bringing this x over the far side. Okay, so I have a half minus a half x plus y minus 4, and I'll also have to bring this 1 across. Okay, so that's minus 1 equals 0. Let's simplify that. So I get minus a half x plus y minus 5 equals 0. Now, I have a little bit of a problem because normally we don't leave a fraction in coordinate geometry. Okay, so if we're writing it in this style here, we don't tend to leave a fraction like that. So the best way for me to get rid of that fraction is to multiply the whole line by minus 2. Multiply the whole line by minus 2. And the reason I multiply by minus 2 is I'd also like to get rid of this minus sign here as well. Okay, so if I do that, then my final answer will be, so minus 2 by minus a half gives me 1x, which we can call x. Minus 2 by y gives me minus 2y. And minus 2 by minus 5 gives me minus 10 equals 0. And there's my equation of the line. Okay? Because I think you'll find this one tricky, I'll just go through one more example and then I'll give you one that you can try and we'll work through that one as well. Okay, so just writing out my formula. As always, you should do that at the very top of your question. Labeling my points, so x1, y1, and my slope is a third. Okay, let's go. So we have y minus y1, which is 9, equals my slope, which is 1/3, x minus 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and simplify this here. So I get y minus 9 equals 1/3 x minus a third multiplied by 3 will give me 1. Let us put it in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to bring my 1/3 x over this side, and I'm also going to bring my minus 1 over that equal sign as well. So I get minus 1/3 x plus y minus 9, and then I have plus 1 equals 0. Okay, again, all I'm doing here is just writing it in this form here. Okay, x first, y second, and then c is just the number itself, this number here. So first of all, I'm going to simplify that. So I have minus 1/3 x plus y, and I have minus 9 plus 1 is going to give me minus 8 equals 0. Now I have this 1 minus a third here, and we don't like that. We don't like having a fraction. We don't like having a negative at the very beginning. So I'm going to multiply that by minus 3 in order to get rid of that. And if I do that, what I get is minus 3 by minus a third gives me 1x, or what we call x. Minus 3 by plus y gives me minus 3y. And minus 3 by minus 8 gives me plus 24. And we let that equal to 0. And there's my equation of the line. Okay guys, have a go at this question and just press pause, and when you're done press play and I'll go through the answer. Okay, again starting off by labelling my point x1 y1, and all I'm going to do first is sub it in to this formula here. So I get y minus my y1 is 6 equals my slope here is a half. Then I have x minus my x1 here is 2. Okay, simplify that so I can multiply in this half. I get y minus 6 equals a half x. Half by minus 2 will give me minus 1. Then I'm going to write it in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to move these two across. They're going to have to go over the other side. So I get minus a half x plus y minus 6, and I get plus 1 here is equal to 0. Simplify that, minus a half x plus y minus 5 equals 0, and I'm going to multiply that by minus 2 in order to get rid of this minus half at the front. So minus 2 by a half minus a half gives me x, minus 2 by plus y gives me minus 2y, and minus 2 by minus 5 gives me plus 10 equals 0.